There are those who walk among us, but they are not like the rest. You cannot always tell by looking at them, for they wear no special garments, carry no titles of distinction, nor sit on high thrones. But you know them when you encounter them. Something about them is different. Their words have weight. Their presence brings peace. Their very existence carries healing. You could be in the midst of a storm, a battle unseen, an agony unspoken, and then they appear. Not with grand gestures, not with elaborate speeches, but with something deeper. A word at the right time, a touch upon a weary shoulder, an act so small, yet so mighty that it changes something within you. What makes these people this way? What gives them the power to heal wounds they cannot see, to restore hearts they do not even know are broken? Could it be that they too were once shattered, that they too were wounded and crushed, yet instead of becoming hardened, they became healers? Some people are human medicine. They walk in a world of pain, but instead of adding to the suffering, they carry the cure. And perhaps, without realizing it, you are meant to be one of them. There are those who walk through life, leaving behind trails of scars, wounds they inflict upon others, burdens they lay upon the weak. They speak words that tear down. They look away from the suffering. They pass by the broken without a thought. But there are others, different, rare, set apart, not because they seek to be, but because they were shaped to be. They are the ones who heal. They do not walk with arrogance, but with grace. They do not carry weapons, but their words are sharper than swords, cutting through despair and bringing hope. You have met them before. Perhaps you did not recognize them at first. Perhaps it was a stranger who saw the pain in your eyes when no one else did. Perhaps it was a friend whose silence spoke more comfort than 1,000 words. Perhaps it was someone whose kindness seemed to reach into the very depths of your soul, lifting you from the pit when you did not even realize how far you had fallen. But where does this power come from? It is not found in wealth or position. It is not taught in the halls of academia. It is not granted by the world. No, it is something else entirely. It is forged in fire. These healers were not always healers. Once they were the broken, the wounded, the ones who suffered in silence. Once they were the ones who cried out in the darkness with no answer, the ones who carried wounds too deep for the world to see. And yet something happened. They were not destroyed. They were not consumed. Instead, they were changed. Pain could have hardened them, but instead it softened them. Suffering could have made them bitter, but instead it made them kind. Their trials could have left them empty, but instead they were filled with something greater. And now, wherever they go, they carry something different. They carry healing. The world does not understand this kind of power. It values strength, control, the ability to conquer. But the greatest healers are not those who have never suffered. The greatest healers are those who have suffered and yet have chosen to heal. They have walked through sorrow and emerged with compassion. They have known the darkness and now shine light. They have been crushed, but instead of remaining broken, they have become whole. And in their wholeness, they restore others. But this is not just about them. This is about you. Could it be that your wounds were never meant to destroy you? Could it be that your suffering was never meant to be the end of your story, but the beginning of something greater? What if the very thing you thought would break you was meant to make you into something stronger, something deeper, something more? What if you too were meant to be a healer? Look around you. The world is filled with people carrying burdens too heavy to bear, wounds too deep to heal on their own. They do not always speak of their pain. They do not always show their scars, but they are there waiting for someone to see, for someone to care, for someone to bring them the medicine they cannot find anywhere else. You do not need to be powerful to be a healer. You do not need a title or wealth or influence. You need only a heart that is willing, a heart that does not look away, a heart that has known pain but chooses love. Because some people are human medicine. They do not merely exist, they restore. They do not merely speak, they heal. They do not merely walk through life. They leave behind a path of healing for others to follow. And the question remains, will you be one of them? Conclusion. There are two kinds of people in this world, those who wound and those who heal. Some move through life leaving behind destruction, while others leave behind restoration. The choice is before you. Will you be an agent of healing? Will you be the voice that lifts, the touch that comforts, the presence that restores? You do not need a degree in medicine to be a healer. You do not need wealth, fame, or power. All you need is a heart willing to love, eyes willing to see, and hands willing to reach out. Because in a world that is sick with sorrow, division, and despair, you might just be the medicine someone desperately needs. Go, be the healing, be the cure.